do you know what? When you change a battery, and hang on a second, I've just got to drop that down because it's very loud now. Hang on, I've got to turn the audio off here now. You've got to remember to turn the little microphone back on. So, sorry. We can't have a live stream without a glitch, you guys. Told you she would do the minute. You guys are terrible. Anyway, back to the start. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's Fiberific Live Craft and Chat. I was just saying good morning to everybody who's in the chat. Spanner Chick, Jackie, Freaky, Ida, Vicky. So good morning to everybody. I hope you can all hear now. I changed the battery in my microphone again because I'd left it on out in the shed for a week. And whoops, that means there's no microphone. So I had to change the battery, and then you turn it off to change the battery, and I forgot to turn it back on again. I thought I was so clever this morning. So you may or may not notice the camera quality is a bit better this week in the craft room. This is my personal craft room. It's a tip, guys. It is not really meant for general consumption, but here we are. I want to get used to working in this space. Those of you that have been joining into the Zoom chats know that the Fiberific shed will be picked up at sometime in the next few weeks. So I'm going to be moving all my videos into here. It will be sorted out and we'll have the backdrop put in and all that sort of stuff. But it's just we're not there yet. I'm sort of I'm getting used to not using the shed. Does that make sense? So yeah. Good morning to everybody who is here. Freaky Geek said had to turn off his headset off and on again, turn it back on. Spanner Chick made piping. Freaky Geek said, are we in your head? I'm not sure what that means. Dude, it's better than it was last year. The piping? I don't know. I'm confused. All right. Why is the shed going away? Kirby, Fiberific runs as a business. And unfortunately, all of my events were cancelled for this year, as is the case for everybody. Everybody's in the same boat. And that unfortunately has meant that we've had to look at the business's finances and work out what we can and can't afford to continue doing. So unfortunately, the shed is a casualty of that, and I will be filming from here in my house instead. So I'll be tidying it up and making it all pretty, and I'll be bringing in the pretty colourful wool and sticking it right there and turning this table. You know, I'll swap this one out for one of the ones in the shed that's on wheels so I can turn it and put it back and things like that. Yeah, so, and that's the thing, the shed was really YouTube space and storage for all my stock. So we're clearing some space in the house to bring in the racks of stock, and I'm going to have to do some serious de-stashing in the craft room to fit everything in here. Spanner Chick says, I've made a deal with Jackie that every time I call her Sally, I have to make her a granny square. That's awesome. That is awesome. So yeah, by the time lockdown finishes, she'll have that new blanket for a couch. Probably. Hey Sally, welcome back to the chat. So it may seem that some of us are having conversations that you're not aware of, and that is because we are over on Zoom. If you check in the Fiberific Fun Zone, we've got links. We're doing video calls where we're all talking to each other in Zoom chat, 7 p.m. Brisbane time. And then also at 8:30 in the morning, Spanner Chick is running a coffee with Spanner Chick. And I don't jump in every day, but I jump in most days. Not today, though, because I was setting up for this. So, knew there would come a day when you'd have to deep Do that deep sprinkling. Yeah. Yeah. And look, the reality is the Fiberific chicks who came and helped me out, Team Fiberific, made a huge dent on it. I'm basically going to be able to put things on wheel trolleys and just wheel them out because most everything is in crates that would need to move anyway. So a lot of it is sort of, how do I put it? It's sort of sorted. It's sorted into like fabric is in this crate and fluff is in these crates. Turns out I have 3 crates of fluff plus these ones. Anyway, I got to do some stuff. Spanichick says, no one came to talk today. I'm sorry, Spanichick. Maybe we should just not do one Thursday mornings. I don't know. We're still tweaking it. We know that we're not going to do one Good Friday or Easter Sunday because that way we can all do some other bits and bobs or just sleep or whatever. Mine is stuck on the TikTok ad. I've refreshed and it's still the same. Jackie's stuck on a TikTok ad. I don't know how to fix that. I'm sorry. Freaky gig. The coffee with Spanichick. So the morning one at 8:30 on weekdays and 9:30 weekends. Sounds like I'm plugging a radio station. KRTZ morning chats with Spanichick. Spanichick said, it was all good. I was just sewing and just had it in my background. Rebecca Nelson, did I miss something? Why is there angry purple hornhead? 2 hours ago. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, 1.5 hours ago is 8:30. Is that right? Yeah. So it's just a bit earlier. Yeah. So I've actually got both cameras set up today. I don't know how good the second camera is. I've set up a space, but you know what I haven't set? I didn't grab any craft to do. So if you guys want to see me try and do something, I've got access to hooks and things. If there's something you want me to show you how to do, send it through and I'll see. I can't promise anything, honestly. I'm not very good at these like impromptu do a thing things, but we can try it. Good morning, Die Wench. I was out for a walk and I still would have missed it. Yeah. So we are, the other thing I have to watch is our internet dropped out this morning. So if we drop or lag, just wait a second, it might root. It's just a purple devil. Yeah, but I don't know why she posted a purple devil. Did I do something naughty? I don't know if I did. I should find out, hey. Great time for bloopers on the flyby lives. Yeah, I'm pretty good at the bloopers. Bloopers are my thing. I've got coffee in my survival juice mug. It's a bit washed out and like bright. Oh, it might have been for you. Okay, good point. It may not have been for me. It might have been for somebody else. So what have I been doing to keep busy lately? Well, I've been organising the very late Mystery Lace clubs. Those of you that are in Mystery Lace, my devil is smiling. Okay, all right. From this side, the purple devil doesn't. I don't have my glasses on, but doesn't look like she's smiling. But it does look like a cool purple devil. So what I've been doing to keep myself busy is trying to catch up on Mystery Lace Club. So which for the most part is fine at the moment. I think I've nearly got everything ready. I'm waiting on a special delivery. And that is we have special guest dyer Fiber Lily shipping us the yarn for March, and February and March are shipping out together. So they will be out soon. April will still be a dash late. Still waiting on the yarn to come in from that. It has been shipped and I'm just tracking it. So that's come. Everything's just taking a lot longer. With all the stuff going on, I only have some suppliers who are shipping at the moment. Some who are shipping a lot less frequently, but then those shipping companies are taking longer as well. It's just par for the course, really. I have found out that I am able to place Chow Goo orders. They will take a little longer to be shipped out, but they will be shipped out. So that is cool. So I'll be doing that a bit later today to get some of those back orders out. So if you've got something Qiaogu that you wanted off my website and it's out of stock, pop your order in today and I will get that into this Qiaogu water. Freaky Geek is eating fake Tim Tams. I mean, why bother? Really? Just, I mean, why? Oh, that's the other thing. International customers. If I'm shipping to you, Australia Post will not accept untracked parcels. It all has to be tracked. And I haven't checked it up yet, but I believe I got an email from Australia Post telling me that they now have a 250 gram option for shipping internationally. I haven't looked at the pricing. Well, I have looked at the pricing, but I want to look into it a bit more. It doesn't look that much better, honestly. I think it saves like $3. I think something like that. So I still think that if you're better off trying to, you know, combine with a friend and get that 500 grams or get me to top it up with a packet of Tim Tams or something like that, because the 500 gram I think is better value at this stage. I'll look into that and I'll let you know. But yeah, so so Mystery Lace Club, I'm going, it's happening, it's working. And then $3 is a lot when you pour. I mean, you're right. If I want a Qiaogu set, can you just order one or it depends on what set. Like interchangeable needles, yes, just one. Interchangeable hooks, I can order one. And I believe I can order one in the double pointed sets. I have to double check that one though. I think I can order one in the double pointed sets. But yeah, no, I can just order one of the biggest sets. Everything else I have to order 3 of. That's why Daiwench is asking. She knows that there's normally a 3 minimum. Just add Tim Tams until you reach weight. Look, I don't do it unless people specifically ask for it because some people don't need that temptation in their life. But if someone just pops through a message, hey, can you pop in some Tim Tams? I'm just going to hit Coles or Woolies and grab a packet of Tim Tams and throw it in there. It's like $2, you know? So I asked my local yarn shop for connectors and she has to order 3 at a time when I just wanted 2 sets. Well, honestly, Freaky Geek, if someone said to me I'd want to order a set of connectors, I'd order the 3 sets. It's a very small purchase. I wouldn't make someone buy the 3. You'd need, like, it depends on how the businesses are run, honestly. But if someone wanted to order like something that was going to be expensive for 3 things and they only wanted 1, do you know what? I still order it. That's how it is. That's how I do it. If someone orders 1, I put the order in and put them into stock in my shop. Joss Kirk is here. She just had to reboot everything. Well, welcome, Joss. Yeah, that's bad for a diet. Yeah, it can be. If people are trying to be really good or be like keto or be all like, I don't know all the diets, but like, or they're diabetic or something where they can't have that much sugar, wouldn't that just be evil? Like, oh, here's your perfectly harmless yarn plus chocolate biscuits. Joss is working at the office today with her headphones. I bet you can't wait until next week when you got some days working from home. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in Australia, a lot of companies, well, I say a lot of companies that are getting their staff to work from home and dial in, which is, you know, part of the problem. We're all sharing the internet at the moment. And so like Tim's working from home, Joss has got some days where she's working from home, and it's like, I think it's a good thing. And I think it's actually really important. Camera is off. I found it. I saw it. I think it's really important. It's an important time for employees and employers to trust each other and also to prove that they're trustworthy. Does that make sense? Like just to be like, hey, I can actually do this from home. And maybe not every day, but how much easier and better would the roads be with the more people working from home? Honestly, I had to go into Beanley for something yesterday, chocolates for the Mystery Lace Club, and it was like there was no traffic. I'm like, hang on a second, it's normally packed. But then I remembered no one's out unless they have to be. Vicky says that her husband's working from home this week. And how are you coping with that, Vicky? Is it a different sort of interaction when you see them now? Jen Homewood says, hubby Face and I have both been working from home for weeks. We're lucky that we can. Absolutely, because not everybody can. And I think it's important for those of us that can to do, and those of us that can't to feel comfortable that we can't, and that you just need to go into your workplace, knowing that those that can be out of your way are. Spanish is, that's right. Now is the perfect time for councils to get in and do roadworks. I 100% agree. Jen says, I really think that after all this is over, employers will be taking a good hard look at how people really work. I think so too. I think some people are really going to step up and prove that they actually work better from home. But there are going to be those where the employers are like, well, I do actually think you need to come into the office because I saw your Facebook feed of you streaming Buffy all day with your laptop in your lap, and I can't see how you got that much work done. Vicky says she's just trying to be as quiet as she can. I understand that, Vicky. My husband's been putting up with me, because if I open this door, which I won't, but you can see over our dining table and into the office where my husband's working. We're actually pretty close. And so I normally have the nighttime Zoom chat, so he's already finished work. But right now he could end up taking a call for work, and he'll be like, oh, that's just my wife live streaming on YouTube. Yeah, Buffy is good. I was just using it as an example. Where are we? I'm just having a look. Buffy is awesome. Yes. Vicky, I'm sure you are better at being naughty than me. Let's see you. Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I'll try not to sneeze, everybody. I'll try not to sneeze. Does anybody have anything they think I should work on right now? Because I got a second camera. I don't know how good it's going to work, but I've got a second camera. And I've got hooks and yarn and all sorts of stuff. If there's something you're stuck on, or something you just want to see if I can do it or not, just because you're mean. Well, not mean. Cheeky. Cheeky's probably a better word. Not mean. Unless, of course, it's Spanish chick suggesting it. Then it's just mean. Spinning. Oh, spinning. I don't have the camera set up for spinning, but I have my wheel. You can see the top of my wheel just here. I just need to finish. Look at this. I've just got this. Hang on. I'll see if I can bring it a bit closer. This is all I've got left to ply, and it's a 3-ply, so I should be done fairly. Do you know, I should really just sit down and do that this afternoon. Get it out of the way, because I really want to play with the yarn, but I can't spin it. More something we can do on the table. Don't give it to the computer than us. I will certainly try, Freaky. I mean, I can't promise anything, really. Can you work on my beaded shawl, please? The one that's at your house and not at my house. Can you show the Chow shorts? No, because I don't have any. Support spindling. I might be able to do some support spindling. The camera angles aren't really set up for it, but I've got support spindles and fluff. I could probably do some of that for sure. Yeah, all the Chow stock is, the shed's still here and it's out in the shed. It's not in the house yet. It will be eventually, but it's not inside just yet. I can't run away. But what I can do, Kirby, is I can post some photos up into the fun zone for you. Are you talking about the shorties, like the 3 and 2 inch tips next to, say, the 4 or 5 inch tips? Because is that what you're wanting? Because because I can do that. You have my blue set. Yeah, but not in this room. So I can do some photos of that, but not until later. I'll do them after. I'll pop them into the fun zone. I'll write a note for myself. Shorties versus 5 inch and 4 inch. Tip pick. Be careful saying tip pick. In the fun zone for Kirby. There we go. I've got a note to do that for later on. In my special note, it says, where I used to work, they had witness on the computer so they could see everything you do. Yeah, that's a thing. Some companies feel very comfortable doing that sort of stuff. Some companies just keep an eye on sort of the websites you hit while you're on your computer workspaces and things like that. Yeah. There is a huge difference between the sizes. Yeah, there's a 1 inch difference between each of the tip lengths. There's a 2 inch tip, a 3 inch tip, a 4 inch tip, and a 5 inch tip. But it's not until you until you see them all next to each other that you kind of grasp the differences. Good morning, Gamer Widows. Don't forget to thumbs up and pop your chat in live chat from Sally so we don't miss out on any of the chat. Thank you, Sally. What am I going to do? Where's my spindle? I might even just start a fresh spindle with just a little one. I've got a little one and a bowl. Hang on. Because I happen to have my spindle basket next to me with all my spindles in it. And look, I've got this fluff I was using to test some stuff with because I was doing a long colour repeat with it on my spindle. So I happen to have all those. So let me just see if we need to. There we go. Oh, look, my coffee's in the shot. Woot woot. There we go. Bring that down a bit. Hey, Holly Anderson, how's it going? I love my 5 inch set. I want the 4 inch set next. Yeah, look, I think, like, for me, I love a lot of the 4 inch tips, especially making hats and stuff like that. Kim says, I think visually seeing it, you don't get it unless you're actually trying using them. Look, and I agree with that as well. Gosh, that camera is really blown out, isn't it? Let's see if I can fix that. Configure the video. Bring that brightness down a dash. I just have a lot of light in this room. I'll be changing the curtains over when I make this a fiberific workroom rather than a Chantel craft room. So I've got these 3 different, they're just basic merino that I was just sort of spinning into a long colour repeat. It was just a test thing. I think I've got a fingerprint on that camera. I don't have a tissue in here. I'm going to go and grab it. Is that clear enough, or do you want me to go and clean that camera? Holly says today is a good day because she gets to join in the live chat. Excellent. Oh, thank you, Gamer Widows. Look, I couldn't tell you much about this little spindle. I love it because of how short it is. It makes it so that it's easy. I don't actually need to change any camera angles much because it's short. A lot of my other ones are like much taller, so my hands are sort of here, which blocks your view. But because my hand is here, it will be much easier. I should use this one on live stream more often, shouldn't I? Spanish Chick says, I found it helpful when I was at Bendigo because we had the 4 inch tips in a project so that people could have a turn and feel the difference between the standard. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. Yeah, it's a bit blurry, I think, or it's pretty clear. It's just it's a bit washed out. Let's see if I can drop some light out. Does that make it better or worse? I mean, it's easier on me, I can tell you that right now. That light was killing me. But it was dropping out shadow, which we've now got back. I might see if I can just put a little bit in just to be a shadow killer. Shadow killer. Oh, whack myself in the face with a craft light. Good job. All right. No, we still have shadows. That's all right. We can live with shadows, right? Can you share the band of the spindle you are using? The band? I don't understand. I mean, it looks like this. It's a little bead spindle. The brand. I don't know the brand of this one, Leanne. I picked it up in a D stash. I got it just because it was cute. I got someone I can ask. Because she sells them. and I just don't know what it is, but I love it. It's a really loved one. Christine Crisp. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that super chat sticker with the coffee. I shall take a sip of my coffee in celebration. Thank you. Kathy was late because she was watching The Resident. I don't know what that show is. I've not heard of it. Hi, Leslie Grant. How are you going? Yeah, try not to knock myself out with that light. If only you had a coffee. Just rub it in, Jackie. You guys, I have sad news. The sad news is my beloved coffee machine of 7 years died. And now I'm down to drip coffee, which has to be stuff I buy specifically for it because my coffee grinder is even older than my coffee machine was. And it cannot grind it fine enough for the drip. So I'm down to Lavazza drip coffee or Moccona instant. We're not coping at all. Even my husband, who is king of the it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, went out and bought coffee the other day from a coffee shop. I didn't think I would ever see that, but it happened. Now, I don't know what's happening with my microphone, guys. Is that peaking for you? Because on my system here, it's going crazy. So is the audio okay? Should I ignore what it's doing, or do you want me to turn it down a little bit? It is a tragedy. You're right, Leslie. It's a tragedy. Kathy, I drink a lot of tea as well, but in the morning I really like coffee. I sound all right? That sounds good? Okay, well, I'm going to ignore this whole thing. It's going like red. Stop screaming into your microphone. It's red. Spanner Chick says, at least it's Moccona and not Nestle. Look, I would drink Nestle over international floor scrapings. But, you know, I'm not happy. Anyway, so I have a question. You guys, we're going to spin this bit. I don't know if we won't get it all spun today, obviously. Did you want me to hold them together so it just spins randomly little sections of each colour? Or do you want me to do a slightly long colour repeat thing? So we've got options. When we're spinning our own yarn, we got options, baby. I hate it when I have no coffee. Even the kids avoid me when I have no coffee in the house. Americans pronounce it as Nestle. Really? Nestle, am I saying it right? Because we call it Nestle. When I was a kid, we called it Nestle. Because it used to have the little bloop on the end, the little accent to give you the, for you to make it fancy. I'm not American. That is an excellent point, Freaky Geek. Good morning, Mel. I mean, I can try and do a bit of both. It'll look weird when I apply it and go to use it, but we can totally do it as a teaching experience. All right, what I'm going to do is break a bit off my hands. Like, this room is also a problem. No air conditioning, no fan. And I can't even plug my USB fan in because... Oh, wait a second. I think I can. Hang on. Let me see if I can switch it on. Oh, now can I turn it? I have to move this dude out of the way because he's blocking. Oh, hello, little fan. Oh, I missed you. Oh, hello. Yeah, so, I mean, we've got, like, if we wanted to go down a proper rabbit hole, I would recommend getting out your hand carders or your drum carder and blending these together a little bit, but we're not going to do that. That would be, like, organized, and we don't do that here. I'm listening to you through my headphones, and the kids keep saying things like, I can't hear. Okay. Robert Timms, Full Body Blend is my favourite instant. It keeps me human. Yeah, I think I bought a container of that when my dad was here last. It's gone now. I haven't tried it. You're funny with the coffee talk. I have Moccona hazelnut or plunger coffee. No coffee machine here. I'm too busy, lazy to clean one. My coffee machine, Christine, was this beautiful coffee machine that you walked up, you put your coffee cup under it and you press the button, and I would press a particular button, it would give me a long black, and it would grind the beans, go grrr, and squirt the water into the cup, all coffee and delicious. And then about once a month, I just had to run a calc clean through it, which was easy. It wasn't like the proper coffee. It wasn't like the barista coffee machines that need the daily clean. This one gets a monthly clean. So yeah, had my. Oh, Bub, how did your doggy go in the Zoom chat? Coffee is all for me. No, you can't have all the coffee. Oh, I've got the fan on now. Let's see how I can cope spindling with the fan on. I've got to get it started. I'll bring that over a little. I think I've started spindling it the opposite way I normally do. So, you know, good on me. Good on me. Do, 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 do. All right. I think we'll see if we can get it started. Am I the only person who struggles the most with spindling getting it started? Like, for me, it's all like, But then once I'm started, I'm okay. I've got to keep this fluff out of the fan. RIP coffee maker. Thank you, Ida. I appreciate that. My poor coffee maker. I'm very sad. It was given to me by my husband for our 10th wedding anniversary, and we just celebrated our 17th anniversary. So it did have a good long run of hard daily use, and it was used for like multiple coffees a day. Not all for me. You need to get Abby to make you. Spanner Chick, she's made me one. I don't like it much. Like, she did a wonderful job, but I didn't enjoy the flavors very much because I don't have sugar in my coffee, so it was very sweet. Spinning is like I'm doing it for the first time every start. Oh, thank God, Freaky, because I feel the same way. Every single time I start on a spindle, I feel unco, like I'm not able to do it. But once I get going, I'm okay. It's just getting it started. Leonie says, I have a coffee maker. His name is Tony. Oh, dear. Keep forgetting I spindle left-handed. I spindle left-handed and fiber with my right. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, I control my spindle with my left hand, and I control my fiber with my right. I don't know what most people do. Just what I do. I sure would struggle if I spun. Nikki, it was a brilliant anniversary present. We normally have this rule about not giving each other like household appliances, like irons and kettles and vacuums and things like that. And he was like, I don't know if it was breaking the rules or not, but I know you really wanted this coffee machine. I'm like, definitely not breaking the rules. But we loved it for a really long time. So, you know, and it got a good run, made us into coffee snobs. We're blaming the coffee machine for that, not ourselves. So, yeah. Such a first world problem, isn't it, guys? Like, oh, woe is me, we are on to instant that we happen to have some of in the cupboard. You know? Holly says, I had a co-worker tell me about the whipped coffee drink, but it seemed like it would be too sweet. See, Holly, are you like me and don't have sugar in your tea and coffee? Because I just found it very, very, very sweet. I mean, and it was a lot of work for my daughter. She had to do a lot to make it happen. And it looked amazing, but it was just a bit too sweet for me. Game Widow says, I have the same rule. The exception was made 2 years ago when I was given the Kenwood mixer. Oh, absolutely. You know, there's always little exceptions, isn't there? Little things that you can't justify spending for yourself, like those big heavy duty oyster mixers. I think I got one year for Mother's Day, and it was a Bosch Mum 5 rather than a big Kenwood one, but it was really good. If the coffee is really good, I like it black. Look, I like milk in my coffee, like proper milk, not creamer. But I think for me, it comes down to a temperature thing as well. The whipped coffee sounds like an espresso or latte. No, it's actually instant coffee with like lots of sugar. I mean, I don't know exactly how it's done, but then they whip it with a little whisk. She's like standing there for 15 minutes. Didn't have the heart to tell her I've got an electric hand mixer that's got a whisk on the end of it. But yeah. Whole fluff. Chintamani holds the fluff in the left and spins with the right, but I use a Turkish spindle. See, I control all my spindles with my left hand. I don't know if that's because I'm a little bit ambidextrous, so I'm never sure if it's a right-handed thing or if it's a left-handed thing. So if you're a spindler and you're right or left-handed, can you specify if you're right or left-handed and if you control your spindle with your right or left hand? I'd be very interested because it's just something I just do, and I can spindle with both hands. I just am more comfortable this way. I'm just feeding this on down the bottom. This will give this, because this spindle's quite light as well. It's very short and quite light. Oh, I'm really liking how this is coming out as its little gradient. Or not gradient, variegated. You did not have the heart to tell her you could save some time. More that she wanted to do it exactly how the recipe specified. And so I didn't want to be all like, well, you could have done it this other way. Also, because she'd never made it before, she didn't know. I do instant at school. I get desperate. Look, I'll drink instant, especially like if I'm at people's houses. I'm not going to be all like, oh my God, no, I don't drink instant. I don't drink international roast, honestly. Like even growing up, my mum would rather no coffee than international roast. And that meant my mum quite often had no coffee because I don't know about other countries, but in Australia, international roast is like one of the cheapest coffee brands. We call it international floor scrapings. Our theory in my family is that someone runs around with one of those big metal scrapers under the conveyor belts of proper coffee companies and scoops it up off the floor, and then they grind it up and put it in the tins of international floor scrapings. Sorry if it's your favourite coffee. How can you tell when it's variegated versus striped when spindling? So striped is pretty. That's a very good question because I think it comes down to the individual person and how they describe things. I consider striped in spinning more if it's longer, right? Like right now, I'm getting a pretty decent long blue bit. Right, so that would come out as a blue stripe, right? Variegated, see how we're holding the multiple colours together and we're getting all the different colours in? It's like a tonal variegation because it's not like a bit of green. Like I haven't planned it. It's not a planned thing. The fan blew my fluff and now it's all lumpy and horrible. I'll have to get smaller bits of fluff. Because it basically it's how it comes out when it's used. Okay, so for striped, I consider it striped if when I'm knitting or crocheting with it that I get stripes. Variegated is where the colours chop and change a bit more regularly. Semi-solid is where it's one colour but chops and changes its tone to that colour. So, where are we? It was an excellent question. I probably didn't answer it very well either. International gross. Yes, that's another one, Christine. I like that. International gross. Sally doesn't like coffee at all. Dizzy says it's feral. Yes, I'm so glad I'm not alone in the international floor scrapings opinions. Because I know with coffee, sometimes I am alone because I am a coffee snob, and that's okay. I know I'm a coffee snob. I'm trying to get past it, especially now that, I'm drinking instant again. But yeah, can you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm just having a good time. I didn't even think to check that you guys could see. So sorry about that. I think if your colour stays the same for more than a metre, you have some chances of being able to stripe on a sock. Yeah, you can stripe with 75. Hang on, let me think. 75 centimetres start stripings for a sock. Like you get a single round strike. I don't drink coffee at all. It smells great, but makes me sick. Yeah, best not to drink it then if that happens. You are a snob of so many things. I know. Oh my gosh, I know. Okay. Yeah, can see more when my eyes are open and up at the screen and not looking down at my knitting. That's an excellent point, Freaky. That is an excellent point. The fine coffee powder is not okay. When we have international for my hubby, he likes it. And Robert Timms for me, that works for us. Yeah, how could you marry a man that drinks international floor scrapings? Like, he must have some redeeming qualities, is all I can say. Kim's, I think we are all at one point or another depending on things. Yes, depending on the things, I think you're right that we are. Oops, I just about went to spin it the wrong way. That's clever. Maybe if I can bring my hand down a bit so you can see a little more. Let me see. Is this better? It's not quite in the middle, but it means my drafting hand's a bit more visible too. Hubby hates coffee, full stop. Just means more for me. Absolutely. I'm glad we went with spinning. Thank you for suggesting spindle spinning, Rebecca. I was a bit like, I've made some space and, I'm testing out the double cam in this room because we haven't tested it out in here yet. And I want something to do, but I wanted to test out the table more than anything else. And so this is awesome. Thank you. Sally, I've got a couple of friends like your husband. Like, you invite them over for a coffee, they come over, they don't want the coffee, they're just coming over for a chat. And you're like, do you want tea? No. And I have one lady who likes cups of hot water. I think that's a little odd, personally, but she likes it. So, she probably feels the same way I do about coffee. I sure didn't marry him for his coffee preference. I'm glad to hear that, because I would be concerned. That would be a definite concern if you married someone for their coffee, like only for their coffee preference. I've got fluff in my nose. Oh, goodness me. It just attacked me. My hubby doesn't do hot beverages. Yeah, see, lots of people don't. Once I get this piece of fluff, actually, I'll show you now. See how that's coming up on the spindle? Whereas before we were mixing a bit more there. These ones came out a bit more like a bit of yellow, bit of blue, bit of green. So, yeah. We're blending them up a bit now, though, because we're getting, like, what happened was the fan blew it all around and it got a bit hard to deal with because it's, I've got the fan on. I'm not going to turn the fan off. Jean says, I used to be the one that had the cups of hot water. It depends on the time of the day. I don't drink coffee at all. I like the smell, hate the taste. Yeah, there's a lot of people who feel that way, I think. There's some coffee shops I've gone to where I'm like, oh my God, this smells so good. And then their coffee is really bitter. I don't like bitter coffee. Yeah, I don't know what it is about bitter coffee. It puts me off. Coffee's got to be smooth and full-bodied and like rich tasting, not bitter or oily. Ew. Team tea. I like tea, but I'm even fussier with tea. Like, I'm really fussy with tea. Dizzy says, I do hot water in winter terms, helps to warm me up. I just figure if I'm going to have hot water, I'll have a, like a green tea or a mint or a spearmint tea or something like that. Oh, thank you. Let's see if we've got it. Hot water with lemon, yeah. You need to be first about tea. firm, fussy. Don't know first about tea. I like a lot of teas, but they just need to be decent quality. Like Tea Fatalia teas, I've not had a bad one. At Christmas, I got Tea Fatalia did a Christmas what do you call that? Advent calendar. So I tried 25 of her teas, and other than a couple of them not being my taste, they were really lovely. And so I really like her Earl Grey blends. I'm a French Earl Grey tragic. As long as there's no lavender in it, I'm good. Because some places put lavender in it. I'm allergic to lavender, so no lavender in anything. Snowy is losing her mind over something. Did anybody in Australia get in on that Spotlight sale? The 30% off Spotlight sale? I did. Last minute. I picked up a dress pattern. There's a blueprint class for a wrap dress. And I've been trying to talk myself out of it for ages. Made the very big mistake of talking about it to the girls in the Zoom chat. Now I have the pattern on its way. So guess what's going to be in my life soon? Game Weirdo says, given that I've been a tea taste tester, I'm fussy with tea. Yeah. Our small stores don't sell anything but black tea, and even the big stores have a limited selection, most ones, so I haven't gotten to try many teas. See, our grocery stores even have a huge tea section, like just standard Woolies and Coles. Sally says, I'm still going through that Advent tea. Not a huge tea drinker, but I'll be drinking more of it over the winter. Absolutely. Dizzy says, yes, 30% off elastic everywhere. Stacey's got some fabrics coming. Stacey, I didn't buy any fabric because I want to touch the fabric before I buy it. My camera has gone blurry. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can fix this up a bit. Less blurry. Wood. Oh, no. Don't touch it. There we go. We're good. Jen says, is Spotlight Australia still open for customers going in? The New Zealand ones have just started some online shopping again after 2 weeks of lockdown. I haven't been in, but I do believe that they are allowing in-store shopping still. We're not closing down all our shops yet in Australia, although a lot of us are wondering why. Like, we understand grocery stores, but there's a lot of other stores that are still open. They're only closing down like on a shop-by-shop basis based on the business not coping with the lack of sales sort of thing, or the business deciding that their staff are too important to risk infecting them for some sales. Jen Homewood said they went in store yesterday. Sally says, I ordered a quilt set, a pillowcase and some yarn. I ordered some towels and a new floor mat and the Butterick 50/30 wrap dress that is the one that the Blueprint class recommended. Usually you could buy it off Blueprint for a discount, but they're not shipping internationally at the moment, so I had to get it locally. Can tell you it was a lot more expensive in Australia, so glad I got it 30% off. Dizzy says, we got 30% off pillows. Yeah. My mum was a tea lady for the Gold Coast Council for 25 years. For her, it had to be loose leaf tea in a teapot every time. See, I love loose leaf tea in a teapot, and I do a lot of loose leaf tea. My nightly cup of tea, however, is just a tea bag, Twinings, Lady Grey, the blue box. So whenever they're on sale at Woolies, I always grab 2. So yeah. I met a gal whose boyfriend was stuck in Australia because of the virus. Oh gosh, that'd be stressful for her. Having someone stuck in a foreign country where you can't see them. But I can tell you, like, compared to the US, we're doing okay over here. There's a lot less infected. There's a lot of fear, but a lot less infection rate. So, you know, we're reading some horrible and seeing some horrible stats coming out of the US here in Australia. It looks terrifying, and I'm sad for anyone who's having to go through any of that at the moment. Yeah. Gamer says, I got one of those T2 magic infusers things. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look it up. Anybody notice when the 3 dots next to chat names no longer let you check a person's channel is gone? Oh, is it freaky? I didn't know that. I've just realised my nail polish matches my fibre again. What are the chances? Whoops. What are the chances? So these are my natural nails now, guys. So proud. Some of them broke, so they're not as long as I'd like them, but we're getting there. Bob Curran says, me too, loose tea is the best. The change happened in the last 12 hours or so. YouTube are tweaking stuff up all the time. Like, people talk about the YouTube algorithm as if it's one thing. It's hundreds of things. So they're constantly changing things. So, yeah. And if, like, enough people are like, hey, where's that thing gone? Can you click on people's, like, can you click on their icon now and go straight to their channel? Because I know that you could do that on computer, not on phone, that you can just click on the icon of the person rather than the triple dot. So maybe they've changed it over to the phone. I don't know. I mean, I could test it. My phone's just right there. I mean, I could, if you want me to. Has anyone tried cold brew coffee? I have. I like it. I don't make it though, but I bought some once and it was nice. I bought it at a coffee shop. It was actually really enjoyable. And my friend Karen makes it and she loves it. We made our own tea bags for our wedding flavors, T2 Lamington tea and lemon and ginger Twinings tea, and we had to buy empty tea bags from Daiso. Daiso have got so many cool things. I want to go and get one of those weird pump things where, like, Kim, how do I describe that pump action thing I want to buy that you said I can get at Daiso? Clicking does nothing on the PC. Okay. All right. I'm not quite sure. I mean, what it might do is I was modding for one of the bigger YouTubers that I deal with, and I had one of their followers who was unimpressed with what this YouTuber was talking about follow my channel back and just write mean comments all over my videos, even though who I was modding for had absolutely nothing to do with Yarncraft. So I'm kind of happy about that then, meaning they can't follow me back without a bit of effort. I mean, all you have to do is type in that person's user handle into YouTube and you can get it, but being able to just click it. That now, yeah, the nail polish remover bottle thing. That's right. Oh, hang on. There we go. I'm going to have to look at this. I'm very slack. I need to wind this cop down to the bottom, but I'm nearly finished the fluff in my hand. Dizzy's, I've got to go and have another blood test. Doctor is worried. Oh, well, good luck, Dizzy. I hope it goes well and that it's whatever your best result could be. It's like a spray bottle that you push down instead of squeezing the trigger. Yeah. I just don't know. There'd be a name for it, right? Yeah, freaky. Like, that's the thing. You could totally just copy and paste someone's name to do it. Hopefully, none of you guys are doing that to each other. I know some of you have channels and that you can't share your links because you're not mods, but and that's disappointing to not be able to track back easily for that, but you know, it's still good. Oh, I got a lump. Hang on a second. It's going to bug me. I need to just... There we go. Just thinned it out a bit. It's not perfect, but it's enough that it won't bug me. Lauren says, love your nail polish. Thank you, Lauren. I am learning how to do nail polish and things. So I'm very glad that it's blue because it's not real good. I'm definitely no good at nail polishing my left hand. I can tell you that right now. But I'm enjoying it. I'm just enjoying having nails to put nail polish on, really. I know that sounds bizarre, but for those of you that haven't been around for a long time, or those of you that have come since sort of Christmas, I'm a rabid nail biter, and my nails are not something I've looked after historically, but I've started looking after them recently. My husband and daughter bought me a voucher at my beautician to get my nails done for Christmas, and we've been doing them ever since. But because in Australia all beauticians have been closed down due to the virus, she's made up these packs for people to buy and take home to take your nails off, so that you could just have your natural nails. What I'm doing is butterflying this off so that I can wind it down onto the bottom so I can wind more. This looks so cute in my hand. Look at that. Love that color. Love those colors. Love it. Tricky girl, tie her up and do her nails with your not always used hand to practice. You know what? She could just do my nails and I could do her nails. I mean, that would be a way to get around it, right? My videos are misleading if you only see my hands. Sorry? I probably don't get it. Nails polish dispenser pump bottles. You'll see what we're talking. Oh, thank you, Kim. Yeah, it just looks really cool. It looks a lot easier to deal with. And nail polish dispenser bottles. And apparently, Kim says I can get them at Daiso or Daiso, or however, I don't even know how to say it. But the store that sells the stuff from Japan for $2.80 for everything. Most things, not quite everything. Oh, don't go up that high. We've already got a big tall bit. We're getting there. This is going to be so cute, you guys. And I've got more of this fluff that, I've got this bit here, but I've got more of it in one of those buckets. Can you see them? No. There's buckets behind me over my left shoulder. And there's more of these colours. So I can continue on and make a multicolor. Oh my god, my nose is itching so bad and my hands are trapped. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, hang on, let me get my hands untrapped. Oh. Oh. Itchy nose. Oh, that's better. Oh, I hope you can't hear my neighbour yelling. Oh, bless the hostess. All right, guys, I'm just going to run and grab a tissue. I'm just going to pop you onto my little be right back screen. I'll be back shortly. I'm back. Oh, goodness me. Leanne is probably lurking because she's working on a project with a serious deadline. So she's probably working very hard to get that done without missing her deadline. So it's an important project. Yeah, the fluff got me. It got me so bad. I now have a tissue. I'll be okay. I should have had one in here anyway. I normally have one handy. But how good is that Be Right Back screen? Is it cute? Spanish Chick says I'm over having my family home with me. I understand. Abby keeps coming up with all these grand plans of, oh yeah, today we'll do this. It's just like, yeah, no, we won't. Because Dad's working and we can't be noisy. And I've got orders to pack to ship out. So she's like, oh. And Abby's frustrated because she had to, you know, her birthday was cancelled last week. And, well, her birthday wasn't cancelled. Her party was cancelled. So, you know. But she's out in the kitchen right now removing those nails we put on her yesterday. So, fun. It was so funny because the reason we're doing this is because, or the reason she's doing this is because she can't do anything with her nails on. And I tried to tell her that. So, you know. But no. What would I know? So my chat stopped scrolling. Have you guys stopped chatting, or is there a problem that I need to know about? So what we're doing is I've just got a support spindle here, and we couldn't decide how to prepare the fluff. So I'm just holding the 3 different colors all together and just letting them come through naturally as to who gets what. Kim had to go into the kitchen to heat over leftover pizza for Maddie for lunch, but John decided it was a good time for him to make a coffee, which isn't exactly quiet when you're trying to live. Fair enough. Yeah, she had them on for all of 2 hours before she wanted them off. Absolutely. Chat's still moving for you, Freaky. That's good. Vicky's ironing. Oh, wow, Vicky. Kim has got this U-Butte press that we saw last night because she was ironing all bits for a project that she's working on. I'm like, oh my God, I love your press so much more than an iron. I'm like jealous now. Never been jealous of anything that irons before. Feels weird. Rebecca's thinking of an evil plan. Fun evil, Rebecca, or just evil? Like, please say fun evil. John's having a snack break. And Jackie, have I mentioned how good my new dryer is? Look, I don't recall you mentioning it today. It only takes 45 minutes to dry a load of towels. That's fantastic. It could be both, Jackie. You're right. It could be an evil good plan for sure. It could definitely be both. Now, I will say my one thing I don't like about this spindle is I'm used to getting much longer on the flick. But as we weigh it down with more fibre, we'll get longer draw time. Oh, not if we snap it. Kathy says, I'm listening and working on Pippin's Great Stash Buster Squares. They look fantastic. I've been watching that, trying to decide whether or not I should join in. Let's start another project, Chantel. Because last night I made a project decision. So is everybody here a member in the Fibrific Fun Zone or on the Fibrific page? I posted a image of a fusion project. It's little squares of fabric that are crocheted together. Now, this isn't your stock standard polar fleece, punch holes in it, kind of with your edgeridoo kind of fusion project. This is sew the squares double-sided with wadding in between and then blanket stitch around the squares. But I am going to attempt it. Sewing is not my strength. I do have a sewing machine though, and it looks to be lots of straight sewing. So I'm going to try that. And I've ordered in enough cotton to do the edging without worrying about running out, unlike every single other project I've been working on lately. Freaky says, I even checked out the videos. Awesome, me too. Wow, that sounds like a very evil plan, Rebecca. Gosh. Okay. Oh, I broke it. Ah, poop. I hate it when I break it. All right, little bit, go over there. Okay, broken off lame end. Let's see if we can join onto here. There's no fluffy bit. Fluff it up. It doesn't like to join if it's not fluffy, for those of you wondering what I'm talking about. Let me see if we can get some. Get the join. There we go. Hang on, guys. I'm really bad at making a nice seamless join. I get so stressed out it's just going to break, so I always make them thick. Where are we? Geek and girly at the same time, that's right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down this fluff and I'm going to show you my plan. Are you ready? Yeah, it pretends to join and snaps again. That's right, Chintami. That's exactly what happens. And so I am trying to not let that happen. Or it looks like it's joined, and then when you go to wind it onto the cob, it snaps. Or even better, it looks like it joined, you've wound it onto the cob, but then when you go to ply it, it snaps. They're my favourites. Where are we? The quilty type project. Yes, that's the one. So I've been trying to chase. Rebecca, he sounds tacky. Like, dude's married and is totally chasing lots of women. Yeah. Do you know the women? You could totally, that could be, I don't know what your evil plan is. I don't actually want to know what your evil plan is. But, if you know these other women, you guys could totally team up. Even if they snap, you can still ply. Yeah, I do, Freaky, you're right. I do that. It just frustrates me. I'm going to pop this down for a second. So, the plan, where's my squares? They're hiding behind a speaker. Now, you guys know, oops, sorry, I'm not the girliest of girls, right? That's pretty obvious. Oh, and I've had this particular set of fat quarters for some time, trying to think of a good use for them. So now I think I'm going to be making one of those cute blankets, but using Star Wars fabric. Force Awakens fat quarter set that I bought when the movie first came out. It's 21 different fat quarters of the Force Awakens movie. And there's enough. This is the US fat quarters, so they're quarter yards rather than quarter meters. There's enough that I can do 2 squares in each color, or 2 squares in each pattern. So cut 4 squares because you need 2 sides for each square. This fabric has been, I'm like, I'll use it for this thing. Nope, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. But now I think I finally found a project that I'm happy to use my Force Awakens fabric with. Holly says, I love those. Oh, that orange and the black had me thinking. Yeah, it's all right. It's because it is. The orange and the black and the red, they are a bit Halloween-y for sure. And this is a good Halloween-y orange. I should have grabbed something to clean that camera with. I think there's a big fingerprint right on the lens. But yes, no, they're all Force Awakens. Have you got enough for 72 squares? Yes, I have enough for more like, so let me think, 22, 40, no, 21, 42. So I've got enough to do 42 by 2. Yeah. 42, so 84. I've got enough here to make 84 squares plus a few extras. Yeah, that's right, Freaky. It's 36 each side. So it's because the double-sided squares, you really have read through the instructions, haven't you? So what happens is you cut 2 6-inch squares and a square of wadding and stitch them together, and that makes 1 square. So you need 2 pieces of this, and each one of these I can cut 4 pieces out of. Probably 6 even if I wanted to, because it's 6-inch squares. And I did some rough measurings. Now I've got to double check because some of these they've left the selvage on and they've measured it with the selvage on. So some of them I don't quite have that much, but I think I can get 6 squares out of each one, not 4. So I could make it a lot larger than the sort of 44 inches square that they're saying. So I could make it, bigger. Seen the video, so it's still kind of fresh. Yeah. It does sound like they deserve each other. You're right, Jackie. Absolutely. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited, and I'm going to edge it with Bendigo Woolen Mills 4-ply cotton in Glacier. So it's a softish grey. I'm hoping it'll be similar to this grey here. I don't want it much darker than that grey because we've got a lot of white, and if it's too dark it'll look weird against the orange. But yeah, I'm hoping that it's about this kind of grey. I think it is according to the screen. I could do smaller blocks, or I could even do bigger blocks. But you're right, it's going to look cool. I reckon the 6-inch blocks are a good size. Hang on. I'm just going to open this out. You can't quite see the whole thing. Hang on, I have a ruler. So what's 6 inches? 15 centimeters. So that's 40. Hang on. So I've got about 55 wide before the selvage edge by that's 40, 47. So 55 by 47, or thereabouts roughly. Hang on. And each square is 15 centimeters, so I can do 3 comfortably and get 45 with enough room. I think it's going to look cool too, Sally. Yeah. Yeah, so I only need 30 by 30 for the 4. No, to make 4 squares, yeah, 30 by 30, 15 by 15 and 15 by 15. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry, 30 by 30 to make the 4 squares. That's right. So I'm going to have enough left over to do some other stuff if I want. I'll keep the little bits. I'll be making like Star Wars scrunchies for if my hair ever gets longer, and I don't care if I'm a 90s girl. I can like do a quilt as I go kind of bag and just make it a whole higgledy-piggledy thing. So yeah. So it's going to be cute. I'm going to put this away and keep spindling. But this is what we've been talking about over in the Zoom chat. So I have got to place the order yet for the cotton. I'm going to do that today. And also order an extra parchment for that other project that I ran out of yarn for. And then I've got all my pretty quarters. It kind of feels good to have finally found a project that I'm really happy for these, because each pattern I loved and I didn't want them to be diminished just because of whatever pattern I chose. So you can make a bag like the one I made for you at Christmas. I could, with all the little bits and bobs. Absolutely. If the blanket is too cool, you'll only be able to use it in summertime. Put it away every winter or you'll freeze. You're quite right, Freaky. Make a double pin cozy. I have to confess, Lydia. Sorry, for a second there I thought it was Linda. I've got ChiaoGoo double pens, and they came in they've got a little ChiaoGoo case already. Jackie says it's usually above 10 degrees C in winter. Overnight it can drop down, but not by much. Like, I think the lowest I've had it in Brisbane, like where I am, is 4 degrees C in winter. A good doona will get you through that. But yeah, there's going to be heaps left over, and it's going to be super cute. So I just need to buy wadding, and I'll go double check I've got enough thread in one colour. I mean, I'll probably just do it in white, to be honest, so I've got tons of that. And then order the grey cotton, and I could probably get the sewing done while I wait for the cotton. Freaky says, oh, I got a question about the ChiaoGoo case, please. Yes, throw it out there, Freaky. What's your question? If it's below 10 degrees, I'd be turning on the heating. Oh, for sure. If it's under 15, I'm turning on heating. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a baby. Although, in saying that, I actually quite like sleeping with my face cold but my body warm, so as long as I've got a good doona, I'm happy. But if it's so cold that I can't get like warm under a blanket, that's a whole other thing. On one side of the case, there are empty spots with CG. What's that for? Hang on a second. I'm just not sure how far I can lean back. All right. So what Freaky's talking about is when you order an interchangeable set, or I'm getting it. There's these empty spots here that say CG. They're just for you to put spare tips into, just like these spots down here. So I'm just going to move my fixed circulars out of the way. So like there's a whole spare set, double set row for you to pop in. I tend to put 4-inch tips down there. They fit better. But that's just for extra tips, because that 4.5s. Yeah. Because these sets, oh, here we go. Look, these are some 4-inch tips that I happen to have already tucked in. Because I like the 5-inch. I've got a 5-inch small set. So believe it or not, all these are in projects over there. And then occasionally I'll buy the additional extra tips on this size, right? And so you can just, like, the set doesn't include the 3mm, which you can buy. So there's no spot for the 3mm. It goes from 275 to 325. So you can tuck your 3mm into one of these little pouches, right? It goes up to 5mm, but on this side you go from 5.5, 6, 6.5, then you jump to 8. You can buy a 7 and a 7.5, so you can put those in. The other thing is, if you like a 4-inch 4mm for, say, making hats, then you can tuck those in. It just means that you can buy one case to start with and just fill it up with more stuff. Or if you decide you want a bamboo for something, you don't have to buy the whole bamboo set. You can just buy one set of bamboo tips and you can still tuck them away for safety. Yeah, there are more sizes than labelled spaces. Absolutely. Can you just buy an empty case? Yes, you can. You can. The stainless steel has a red sash, the bamboo has a green sash, and the empty cases have a white sash. So, and then the interchangeable crochet hooks come with the red fabric rather than the black. I'm going to wipe this camera with the back of my tissue and just see if it makes a difference. No, I need a little bit. I'd need a glasses cleaner. Freak says, I've got bamboo. Oh, sorry, yes, they do the bamboo with the black sash now. They used to do them with the green and they've changed to black. I just got a mouthful of like coffee bits out of instant coffee. I must have mixed it properly. Where are we? I think I need to get one. Yes. That's like the fly on the, yeah, Jackie had a fly walking across the camera for her Zoom chat last night, and we couldn't see a thing because there's just a fly just sat on the whole camera bit. The DPNs are the only ones I don't have because they are such small size that I wouldn't use them. Yeah. What you can do is you can actually buy an empty DPN case and fill it with the DPNs of the sizes you like. So, yeah. And I have all the interchangeables, so I don't need DPNs. Yeah, you're a magic loop girl. But yeah, and that's what I like about the Chagru set thing is like, while yes, we may want it all. I don't know about you guys. I can't always afford what I want when I want it. And so being able to buy a small set to start with and slowly filling it out with the bits and bobs as you need them, I find that to be helpful. Oh, no, that's right. You use 2 circs, don't you? Rather than, yep, I remember now. If Vibrafic doesn't have an empty case, Tracy at Knit Spin Weave has some. Yep. And I'm putting in an order today, so like tonight. So if you want to pop in your order for your empty case, you totally can. And I can't tell you when I'll have it, but Chagru have started shipping again, sort of. Not to their same speed, but pretty quick, up from what I'm hearing. I just can't guarantee it because I don't know yet. Yeah. The bigger, yeah, sometimes fitting in a whole group of the bigger ones don't fit. Depends on how big you're going. Yeah, Sally's here in Australia with me. But yeah, definitely check it out if it's something that you're interested in. Because that's the other thing. I know of people who've bought just a couple of tips and over time they've bought a few more and then realised, oh, bugger, there's no point in me buying a set now, but I want the case. So you can get the case. Oh, there we go. Come on, little thing. Oh, there we go. I nearly broke it again, you guys. Try not to. Yeah, Christine, they're not back up to full scale stuff yet. They're only allowed to have one person in the building at a time. But they're still getting courier pickups, but not every day like they usually do. So they are functioning, but not to their usual standard. And so they're not guaranteeing delivery times or anything like that. Also, courier companies are working a bit slower. So, you know, usually if I put an order in by Friday, I would have it here in Australia by the following sort of Thursday to Friday, generally. I think that if I put an order in today, what's today? Today's Thursday. I think I'd be lucky if I had it by next Friday or the following midweek. I think I'd like be excited if that happened. Oh yeah, Easter long weekend. That'll slow it down even more. Forgot about that. Thank you, Jackie. I got to the post office just as I was deep cleaning and got a mouthful of gross fumes. Yeah, I don't recommend. I mean, I'm glad they're deep cleaning and I'm glad they're keeping on top of stuff, but yeah, fumes not fun. They're certainly not my favourite. I totally forgot about Easter, actually, Jackie. That really will slow things down. Jackie's got Tuesday off as well. Woot woot! No Zoom chats for Good Friday or Easter Sunday. for the fibrific Zoom chats, that is, or the Spanner Chick morning coffees. We've been doing, how long have we been doing the 2 a day for, Kim? We've been doing the 2 a day. Kim starts the ones in the morning and I start the ones at night. Yeah. Jen says, I forgot about the holiday too and miscalculated my work hours. Now I have to do 7.5 hours today instead of 4. Oh, at least you can, I suppose. Kim says too long. The thing is, I pretty much do math for a living. Yeah, but, you know, all math with incorrect numbers is just incorrect anyway. Look, guys, I've got a question. Do you see those things come up on Facebook? At the moment, they're doing them with, like, pictures of socks and shoes and ties or witches and wands and broomsticks or something, where it's like, what's the answer to this if 3 of these cost this or 3 of these are these, and what's this times this plus this times this? And I'm just like, there's so many different answers and people are so like adamant theirs is correct because of the way different countries have their order of operations. And I'm just like, how do we as societies function with different maths operations? Like, wouldn't that mean that there's lots of things that we do that's different because we've worked it out and gotten totally different answers? Like, I mean, I've got a pen and a notepad. I was just going to write it on here, but I thought, let's just write it on here. So, like, say you had 5 plus 5 times 10 equals. Like, what would you guys get? Like, for me, I'd get 55, right? But I'm not seeing the same answers. I'm seeing people doing 5 plus 5, getting 10, and then doing times 10 and getting 100. And to me, that's just totally wrong. And I'm just blown away. Yeah, BODMAS. That's what we were taught as well. But some people aren't taught BODMAS. They're taught something else. Yeah, you do multiply, divide, and then add and subtract in order is basically what. So multiply and divide in whatever order they come across in, and then add and subtract in whatever order they come across in. That's what I get taught. And that's the thing, Jackie. I'm like, then they're wrong. And I agree because that's my opinion. But if they were taught this other way, they really don't think they're wrong. Yeah, so here in Australia, we do the timeses and divides first, and then we do the additions and subtractions. Jackie says, math is universal. If you aren't doing it that way, you're wrong. Yeah, Spanish chick, that's what I do as well. But there's people who are like doing it in the order it appears, and and they're so like, I mean, I made the mistake once of answering one of those and ended up in a bit of a discussion, and decided, you know what, this is one of those things that I'm just not going to, I don't have to be concerned with everything. And then but then I often sit there thinking, as they're defending their math and defending their incorrect answer, I'm like, how are you teaching your kids? Everyone's staying sane while helping their kids practicing math using Common Core. Yeah, I don't think Australia has Common Core like the US has Common Core, but yeah, try like, snap at it. But yeah, it's definitely fun. I mean, my daughter's home, but because she's in high school, she's doing all digital learning, and it's digital classroom. So it's basically, as long as she's at her laptop, there's a teacher there. So I don't need to, other than making sure she's sitting there doing the work, I don't need to actually help with the work because there's actually a qualified person on the other end there to do that, which we're very grateful for. I know that some people are struggling a bit more with the primary school age kids. Zana says, people doing it differently than the way you just did are simply doing it wrong. They weren't taught a different way. They weren't paying attention in school. See, Zana, I think that too, but then I'm like, oh, but am I just being mean? Yeah, that's it. The other ones are that there's a bunch of bananas, and then the next row they have a bunch of bananas. That's that's the one. Kirby says, Common Core is rubbish to me. My nephew was floored when it took me seconds to work out a basic equation because Common Core is complicated and lengthy. Oh, Kirby, me trying to do math the way my daughter does math, I can't do it. Like, I'm just a carry the one kind of girl, you know? And they don't carry the ones anymore. They don't carry the... And it's like, I'm like, well, how can you do it if you don't carry the one? And she's like, oh, well, you do this, 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 and this. And it's like, it's so convoluted. It's like, you know what, Abs? This is just how I do it, man. It's so much easier. But yeah, no, and I sort of see these things and it's just like, I don't like to be divisive, but at the same time, it's like, dudes, this is math. Isn't this supposed to be the same everywhere? Obviously not. But yeah, like, if you want to get into a Facebook fight with somebody, all you got to do is do one of those things and write your answer and tell everybody else that theirs is wrong. Oh, but yeah, I'm just like, oh my God. Borrowing the ones and pay it back. Is that how they do it? Is that how we did it? Or is that how they do it? Because we borrowed the one from the top and then added them in down the... Anyway, I can't... I'd have to do it. My hands know how to do it. My mouth doesn't. Yeah. Like little kid math now. You need a university degree to be able to help them with their homework. Oh, that's how you learnt the first time. Yeah, me too. Carry the one. Carry the one. Like the grammar inspectors. Yes. Oh my gosh. But anyway, like, and I think people's nerves are getting frayed because their Facebook world is the only world they've currently got because of all that's going on, and I understand that as well. Which is why we've made the Zoom chats available to anybody who, like, if you're in the Fibrific Fun Zone, you've got access to those links. So if you're not in the Fibrific Fun Zone, you should go and join. And you can join in our chats and have a good time with us at night. Yeah. It's just so... yeah, so you say 21 is the same as 1, 10, and 11 ones. Absolutely. Yes, that's it. Yeah, borrowing the ones and carrying over numbers. Thank you, mods, for tossing those links in. Look at this. I think this cop's nearly as big as what we've loaded down the bottom. Do I hear a duck? Look, my neighbours are talking and he's got a deep voice, so it could be coming through. But we've definitely got crows. There's a lot of crows around here at the moment. Do not Google what hearing crows at night means. You end up with weird stuff, not just actual things. Oh yeah, it's a crow. I just heard it. Yeah. I'm so used to hearing them now, I don't even notice when they're doing their stuff. Schoolhouse Rock Grammar. I've never heard of Schoolhouse Rock Grammar. Yeah, it's definitely a crow. Oh, come on, you little doobie. What's it? You lost a bit of tension and you end up with little tails. I don't want tails. I don't know what it means when a crow falls in your atrium. But basically, apparently, hearing crows at night isn't ill-portent for the future. It's just like, dude, surely there has to be another reason. Like, something a little less superstitious. I mean, not that I don't think some of those things are cool, and I love watching those kinds of fantasy shows, but I just want to know what, yeah, Omens of Death, that's right. Yeah, my nail matches the yarn. I noticed that before. It was unintentional. True story, in high school we had to recite the preamble. I sang mine and got an extra credit. Oh, really? Hang on, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I know what the time is, you guys. I can see it. Kim. There we go. Hang on, I'll bring a bit more up. There we go. That's what doing our fluff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change to our other camera angle. Da-da-da. Bam. There we go. Other camera, because this is a better camera. I'm just going to zoom in. There we go. That's what our yarn looks like there. Oops. There we go. How it's a bit coloured. My hand's shaking. Sorry, guys. It's bringing it out of its little fine zoom spot. There we go. Oh, I went too far. Bam. Okay. Yeah, so it's too small to put it in the hanky. I probably wouldn't yet. But I do have more fluff. Oh, hang on. Come on, you. I mean, I've got these bits here already ready to go. So it's just a bit in this this green, and this is the colour that's matching my nail polish at the moment, which you, look at that. How cool is that? And then just some brighter green. So, and I was just basically, all I was doing to get that was just pulling off a tuft of 3 and just letting it spin whichever bits it wants. Nice bit of blues and greens, yeah. And I've got more of each of them in a tub over there somewhere. One of those tubs. Actually, you can see them there. You can see the one that matches my nails dangling, draping down. There's more next to them because, you know, I pulled them out. We did both sewing and cooking for home ec. Yeah, we did as well in junior years, and then senior you had to kind of pick one or the other. I am going through coverage. I know. It's just no real coffee in the house. More than my textiles teacher, home ec was cooking. Sorry, what was that? I've missed something. Hang on. The game winners more or less than your home ec teacher. I've missed something. Hang on. I'm drafting an apron pattern using my French curve set. My graphics teacher would be so proud. Well, I'm going to be getting my pattern soon, and I'm going to have to be doing some adjusting. So that, because, you know, I have to buy a particular size pattern because it's the biggest one that they sell. Hang on. I'm just trying to be in focus a bit. No. I think I'm just too far away. There we go. There we go. Oh, yes, this is a good look. But, you know, I've got to... see, I'm not happy with that framing. There we go. I bought one size pattern which should fit the majority of my body, but I've got to adjust the arms, and I may need to adjust, you know, other areas, because once you adjust arms, it's not just arms. So that's going to be fun for someone who hasn't done that for a really long time. I used to do it a little bit. Haven't done it in ages. I haven't sewn in ages, actually. Like the sewing, I'm literally going to have to wipe dust off the sewing machine case. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to trying out this thing, because this is the thing. We've got a bit of extra time on our hands, or most of us do, to try some new things. So I am trying to step out a little bit of my comfort zone. And I like the idea of fusing crochet and fabric together, and I'm very curious to see how that one comes up. I don't enjoy clothes shopping, so maybe I'll enjoy clothes making more. Either that or I really won't. this, and we'll see. So are you guys trying any new crafts? Like, have you guys hit up Blueprint and checked out because all their classes are free until like mid-April at the moment. Jump onto Blueprint and just have a squiz. If you use my link over in the fun zone and then decide you want to subscribe during this free period, I do get a payment for that. But if you don't subscribe and you just get to use the freeness, hello, free lessons to learn something. They've got cooking and sewing and knitting. They've got gardening. I think there's woodwork and metalwork and weave. There's all sorts of stuff. Photography, Lightroom, how to use some different softwares. There's some great stuff. And so I'm going to be using one of their wrap ones. What's it called? How to make a nice wrap? Something like that. I can't remember. There's 2 wrap classes. It's the one with the African American lady is the one that I'm going to be doing. But yeah, I really want to get a paint by numbers kit, but they're sold out everywhere online. Yep. Oh, here we go. Spanner Chicks dropped in some extra things. They got drawing and dance and yoga and meditation. There's so much stuff that you can do on Blueprint, honestly, and at the moment it's all free. Jen Homewood says, I'm planning to try Entrelac when I finish my current thingy. There is an amazing Entrelac class by... oh my gosh, I can't think of her name. I'm picturing her face. Where she teaches you how to knit left and right so you don't have to turn and purl. Like for like the little short row stitches. So you learn to knit it left and learn to knit it right. What's her name? She's fantastic and I feel terrible that I can't remember her name. I'll remember it later for sure. The Perfect Wrap Knit Dress. That's the one I'm doing. Yes. Thank you, Kim. Free until the 9th, and that's tomorrow. No, it's been updated. Have a look. It's been jumped up to the 16th. They extended it. Gwen Bortner. Thank you, Kim. It's Gwen Bortner. Her classes are phenomenal. She's a schmick teacher. Like, teaches you every detail you need. Doesn't assume that you already know something. And also doesn't make you feel like, oh, this bit's so basic, you should totally know it. No. It's not that at all. She's just a phenomenal teacher who teaches all sorts of little extra tips and tricks and bits and bobs. She's great. I highly recommend Gwen Bortner classes. And Laura Lee Beltman as well. If you can get your hands onto a Laura Lee Beltman class. Whew. Yeah, so definitely check it out because they've extended the free. That was originally the 9th, but they've extended it out to the 16th. Schmick. It's Schmick. It's SCHMICK. It's Schmick. I will definitely look her up planning a blanket. Yeah, so she's got a couple of different patterns in the... I don't even know if the class is still available. If you get stuck, let me know, Jen, because I can show you how to do it. If her class isn't there, but if her class is there, do the class. I should have checked that before I wax lyrical about it, shouldn't I? If you are looking for something, try the search. Heaps more things come up than if you just click the menu items. Yes. The other night we were having our Zoom chat and I was sharing the screen while we were talking, and some of the other ladies were getting different amounts of stuff, like looking at what we thought was the same thing, but they were similar things. Yeah, definitely worth searching. Lots of free patterns as well. So at least in sewing, when you just type sew into search, there was a whole pile of stuff you could search for. So there is an Entrelac knitting class. Oh, is it Gwen Bortner? I know they've updated a few classes. Like, I don't know if Franklin Habit's class is still there. His class was great. But yeah, I don't know if it's still there. I should do a brioche one. Yes, you should. There's a couple of brioche ones to choose from. I've done one of them. I can't remember which one I did. I have to have a look. Yeah, Gwen's is there. Excellent. So Gwen Bortner's Entrelac class is there. Totally do it. Don't do what I did and skip to the project I wanted. watch the projects, even if it's not the one you want, because each project she teaches some different skills. And I wanted to make Abby the swing cape out of some hand spun, so I skipped to the end and had to go back to the start because it was just like, yeah. Anyway, my lovely friends, it is time to call it for today. If you want to come and hang out tonight in the Zoom chat, 7 p.m. my time, which is about 7 hours and 15 minutes from now, then by all means go and check out the Fibrific Fun Zone and find your link and what have you in there, and come and join us. Bring your craft. Make sure you've got headphones on because we get feedback and stuff if there's no headphones. So I will catch you all later. Be good. Be safe. Socially distance yourself from people, and protect your families. Let me just have a quick look here, just seeing if there's anything there. Yeah, so Jackie comes and hangs out most nights as well. So Jackie wants you to come and hang out in the Zoom chat. Just because you can't be there at 7 doesn't mean you can't join in at 8. We're normally still going. We're normally still going till 9 or 9:30. None of us can seem to stop talking. I don't know why that would happen. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Be good. And see you next week. Bye.